So good morning, everybody. Thank you for being on time today. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how to pay for college. So there's four main ways that you can pay for college. They're listed here up on the board: financial aid, grants, scholarships, and loans. And for prospective college students, like everybody in this room, it's very important that we understand each of these and how you can apply for them. So first and foremost, financial aid. What needs to be done first is applying for FAFSA. Once you do this, you are able to get your financial aid, grants, scholarships, and things like that. So with financial aid, it's needs-based, which means it takes into account your parents' income, it takes into account your living situation, and a couple of other things. So applying for financial aid, it actually accounts for a majority of the money that's given is by the government. For the second, grants. These can be either state or federal. So here in the beautiful state of Missouri, the state of Missouri gives money at the state level. Also, in the form of federal Pell Grants, the government also gives federal grants. And this is also based on FAFSA. So anything that you put on your FAFSA account, as far as your parents' income, their contribution, goes into how much money you get for the grants. The third is scholarships, and these are given by donors. Usually private donors that give money to the school into a scholarship fund. There's different types of scholarships, some that accrue with interest over time, some that adjust with inflation for tuition, and there's really one out there for everybody. So this is one thing as a college student or a prospective college student that you can go online, find out what suits you as far as scholarship. If you meet the requirements, apply, write your letter of intent, and send it in. The biggest problem with scholarships is that kids don't know that they're available, and so they don't sign up for them. There's tons of free money. I think the figure was $12 billion in scholarships and financial aid was given to college students last year. It's a huge amount of money that's there for the taking. And then lastly, loans. Now the student loans, you probably hear a lot of horror stories about. People are always talking about having to pay back loans once they graduate, which is true. However, at times, this might not be enough to pay for your education. So you might be forced to take out student loans. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you messed up. It's something that actually usually has to be done, and a lot of people do get student loans. There's a couple of different types, some that have interest and some that don't. And 6 months after you graduate, you begin paying on your student loans. So that's important to know as well. And the loans are usually a fixed amount. So me personally, when I was in your shoes, graduating high school, starting college, I was looking for a way to pay for school. I didn't know if I wanted to do loans. I didn't know if I could find some scholarships to apply for. When it came down to it, I got a couple of scholarships. Two came from the university for $1,000, and then I got one full-ride scholarship midway through my college career that was full-ride, so it covered my entire tuition. But the fact of the matter is, it was because I went in and I actually tried to apply for these things. And I knew that there was money out there, and I knew that I needed help paying for school. And so this is one of the big ways that I did it, as well as getting a grant that was given to me by the federal government in the form of a Pell Grant. So these are things that also help me out through my journey, and that will also help you guys out through your journey through college, as well as loans that I took out on my first year of college as well. And that's also really important to know. Like I said, the horror stories, don't sweat it, don't worry too much about it. When it comes down to it and you're working a good job, you'll be able to pay it off easy. So these are the four ways to help pay for college. It's extremely important that you guys kind of know that these are the methods in which you get assistance. And college degree is very important in this day and age, and this is the way that you're going to get to achieve your goals. So with that being said, do we have any questions? Anybody? Yes?
When do you pay back loans?
So you pay back your student loans 6 months after you graduate. So once you graduate, there's a period of 6 months, and then the loans kick in, and you have to start paying them back. So you have a little bit of time to kind of prepare, work, save, to kind of pay off the loans, and of course it's in the form of payments. So does that answer your question? Cool. Anybody else? Another one? Sure.
Can a student get a grant and a loan for the same year?
Yeah, of course. So you're applying for student loans. Say you get, I think it's $6,500 or $6,000 is the maximum that you can borrow as a freshman, right? So you get that loan, and if you're going to a school that has a relatively high tuition rate, that might not be enough to pay for, a full year of tuition. So yes, in conjunction with the loans, you can also get grants or scholarships that kind of add your total up as far as the money that you have to pay for school. Definitely. Any other questions? Yes?
So you have to apply for all 4 of them?
You don't have to apply for all 4 of them. It would be smart to, and you can. So when you're applying, when you create your FAFSA account, it's going to ask you for information to enter that will then determine whether or not you're eligible to get certain grants or how much money you'll get for financial aid based on your parents' income, things like that. But all of these things here are methods in which you can pay for school. So all of these here are great options, like I said, and sometimes there's people that use each of these options. I know that me, myself, personally, have used the 3 of these options as well to help pay for my education. So definitely. Does that answer your question? Cool. Anybody else? All right. Thank you very much, guys.